I still can't believe what went down on live TV this morning. It was supposed to be just another lighthearted Today Show segment, coffee cups, laughter, maybe a country song or two from Blake Shelton. But what happened between him and Jenna Bush Hager left everyone, including me, completely stunned. It started off perfectly normal. Blake sitting comfortably on the couch, joking around about life after The Voice, teasing some new music. Jenna was smiling, the crowd loved it, and everything felt smooth. Then suddenly, something shifted. There was a spark of tension, so subtle at first that no one could have guessed what was coming next. But I swear, you could see it in Blake's eyes, that kind of quiet, simmering look that said, something isn't sitting right. 2. Jenna asked a question that seemed harmless on the surface. She mentioned how fans online had been talking about Blake stepping back from the spotlight, wondering if he'd gotten too comfortable since marrying Gwen Stefani. Blake laughed at first, that classic country boy chuckle. But then, he leaned back, looked right at her, and said, I don't really think it's anyone's business what I do with my career. The air changed instantly. Jenna tried to soften it, smiling nervously, but her follow-up made it worse. She said, "Oh come on, Blake, we're just having fun, you used to love the spotlight." And that's when Blake's tone dropped. He said, "Yeah, well, sometimes the spotlight forgets people are human." The studio went quiet, and I mean dead quiet. 3. You could feel the tension through the screen. Hoda Kotb tried to jump in and lighten the mood, laughing awkwardly, but Blake wasn't having it. He crossed his arms, that smile fading into something sharp. Jenna looked genuinely flustered, not out of disrespect, but like she hadn't realized she'd hit a nerve. She apologized quickly, but Blake interrupted. "You know what, Jenna? You media folks always want to poke and prod like we're circus acts. I came here to talk about my music, not my marriage." The audience gasped. No one expected that from the usually laid-back Blake Shelton. Even Hoda looked shocked. You could tell the producers were scrambling behind the scenes, probably whispering through earpieces trying to calm things down before it spiraled further. 4. Instead, things just kept heating up. Jenna, trying to recover, said something like, "I didn't mean any harm, Blake. I've always admired how open you are." But Blake fired back, "Yeah, open until someone twists it for a headline." The irony of that line wasn't lost on anyone. You could see Jenna trying to keep her composure, a professional through and through, but the tension had crossed a line. Blake's voice was calm but firm, the kind that carries more power because it isn't shouting. He looked right into the camera and said, "I'm done talking about personal stuff. Let's move on or let's be done." For a second, it seemed like they might continue, but then came that long, awkward pause, the kind that feels like a lifetime in live television. 5. I swear, I'll never forget what happened next. Blake stood up, pulled off his microphone, and said, "You know what, I think we're done here." The studio went completely silent. Jenna looked stunned, her hand half raised like she was going to say something, but Blake was already walking off. The camera tried to follow him for a second, but the director quickly cut back to Hoda, who was doing everything she could to keep the show together. You could hear murmurs from the audience, people whispering, not sure if it was a joke or something real. But the look on Blake's face said it all, he wasn't joking. He walked straight off the set, and that was the last the audience saw of him. 6. Social media exploded within minutes. Clips of the moment were circulating everywhere: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. People were split down the middle. Some said Blake had every right to stand up for himself, that the media can push too far sometimes. Others felt Jenna was just doing her job and didn't deserve that kind of reaction. Memes, debates, hashtags, it was chaos online. The Today Show's official account posted a short clip with the caption, "An unexpected moment with Blake Shelton this morning," which didn't help calm the speculation. Fans were demanding explanations, and news outlets started replaying the segment on loop like it was the biggest TV drama of the week. 7. A few hours later, Blake finally broke his silence. He posted on X, formerly Twitter, writing, "Live TV can get messy. No hard feelings, but I won't apologize for being real." That tweet only fueled more conversation. Jenna didn't respond publicly right away, but later in the day, she mentioned on air that she wished things had gone differently. It was one of those moments that showed just how unpredictable live interviews can be. Everyone's human, even celebrities who seem larger than life. And honestly, watching that raw emotion from both sides made the moment feel strangely authentic, uncomfortable, but real. 8. By the next morning, PR teams on both sides were working overtime. Some reports claimed producers reached out to Blake immediately after the show to smooth things over. Others said Jenna herself called him privately to apologize for any misunderstanding. Either way, by the following day, both seemed to have cooled off. Blake's spokesperson issued a short statement saying he appreciated Jenna and the Today Show team but needed a moment to step away. It was a clean, diplomatic way of wrapping up what had become one of the most talked about moments of the week. But even then, fans kept replaying the clip, analyzing every glance, every gesture, as if trying to find hidden meaning in every second of it. 9. Now, looking back, it's kind of fascinating how something so small can explode into something so massive. One awkward question, one tense moment, and suddenly the internet has a week's worth of content. It says a lot about how audiences crave authenticity, even when it's messy. In a way, Blake walking off was a reminder that even seasoned TV guests have limits, and hosts, no matter how kind or friendly, can accidentally cross lines. It wasn't about right or wrong, really, it was about emotion, pride, and the unpredictable nature of live television. And honestly, as shocking as it was also one of the most human moments we've seen in a long time on morning TV. 10. So yeah, that's what went down, or at least, how I saw it unfold. Whether you think Blake was out of line or totally justified, one thing's for sure, it got everyone talking. And maybe that's what makes television so powerful, the fact that, in a world full of rehearsed moments and polished PR, something raw and unplanned can still stop us in our tracks. Maybe both Blake and Jenna learned something that day, about communication, timing, and how quickly a lighthearted chat can turn into a national headline. Either way, it's one of those moments that'll go down in pop culture memory as the day Blake Shelton walked off the Today Show, shocking, real, and unforgettable.